All right, guys, here we go. Finally got the um, audio fixed, I think. I was having some issues with my microphone, but here we go with the restart to the podcast. So, St. Louis Dog School podcast was started last year, but kind of fell off the train. We got super busy with just life in general, but also with running the business, starting the business, hiring a trainer, getting all kinds of dogs and everything, and fine tuning the program and everything. So kind of just fell off. But if you go back and listen to some of the old stuff, it was a Q&A style podcast, and Christina, my wife, was asking me questions, and I was answering them. So just off the top of my head, just going with it. So some things might have changed. I don't remember any of the questions that were asked, but hopefully I don't sound too much like an idiot in any of those. But so with this podcast, I am now going to start doing video too. So you'll be able to find these on YouTube, but audio version will be on Spotify. So in He Hoosiers, jumping into this episode is going to be more about me. Well, not me personally, but like my programs that I offer at St. Louis Dog School and the programs we follow. So we technically have four programs, two different styles, but today we're going to really only talk about dog school. Um, but the two types of programs is we have homeschool and we have dog school. Homeschool is your typical private one-on-one sessions. I come to you once a week. We work together through the program, and you and your dog. Homeschool is for the owners that want to do all the work themselves and have the time and can hold themselves accountable to actually doing the work. Uh, I see a lot. People will pay top dollar for training and one these private session type style programs. And then when the trainer comes back the next week, they're like, "Oh yeah, I did like one day," or "Oh, I only got like 5 minutes of training like yesterday because I knew you were coming today." And it's like, well, I want your dog to be great, but we're not going to get anywhere if you're not putting in the work. But that is available. Um, Very rarely do people call me and actually go with that option because they understand. And I tell them like, be honest with yourself. Can you do the? Can you do 20 minutes of work every single day with kids and life and work and dinner and sport events? Like, can you really do it? And they're like, no, actually, I can't. Like, it's a good point. I go, all right, well, let's go with dog school. Dog school program is where I come in the mornings. I pick up the dog in my school bus. I pick up the dogs, bring them back here, and me and the trainers, we work with the dogs throughout the day. Okay. We are training. We are letting them run around in the yard with the other dogs. We're taking them for walks. We're taking them out in public. We're taking them to the parks, kind of depending on what your dog specifically needs. We are not the company that teaches a bunch of different commands. We're not going to teach your dog to do all these different things. So a lot of times you see come, sit, place, heel, down, middle, stay, wait, break, yes, no, blah, 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 like a ton of words. Like you have to teach your dog. And it's like, man, no. So the majority of dogs that I work with are super high energy, um, and that high energy has turned into like really nervous. They become really nervous or anxious, even fearful, or dogs that are reactive, almost borderline aggressive, I would say. Where if so, really, kind of the like how I ask people is like, if you let your dog off leash at the park and there's people around, what do you think your dog would do? And if and most of the people that work with me either I don't know. I would be terrified to see what my dog would do. Or it's my dog would run straight home. My dog would hide behind me. My dog would run back to the car. Um, those are kind of the main people I work with. But I do get occasional like, oh, I don't know. My dog would just go explore and go like say hi to everybody. Those are fun dogs. Those are great to train, but um, it's not typically what I work with, and it's not why people are calling me. So I've kind of taken my cut of the pie for the anxious dogs, the reactive dogs. So if that is not your dog, we'll still work with you. Like, of course, don't let it sound like we won't work with you that way. But just imagine if that's what I typically work with, what what I focus on. Imagine what I could do with your go happy lucky or go lucky happy, however that term is said. Imagine what I could do with that, with your Labrador or your Golden Retriever that just loves everybody and just, oh my God, and just so sweet. Like, just imagine how good your dog would be. But any Hoosers, this video or podcast is about dog school. So, what we do, 4 days per week, Monday through Thursday. In the morning, I will drive to you on my school bus. I will pick your dog up. We'll chit chat if you're home for a minute, just kind of see how things are going. If there's any tweaks to the program or any tweaks that you think are necessary for your dog specifically, um, and then we bring them back. We work them throughout the day. During that day, during the training, at least one video is going to get recorded for you. So we actually build out a playlist for you. It'll be on YouTube, and you'll have a link to go to. As of right now, it's called unlisted, which means people can't search for that video. Um, but if they have the link to the video or the link to the playlist, they can see it. I am thinking for content purposes, excuse me, that I'm going to start making them public, but I just haven't decided on that yet. So, but yeah, you're going to have a complete playlist of the daily training that we do for you to go back and watch. If you forget something or I word something weird or you're dealing with an issue, whatever it may be, you're going to be able to go back and see that and watch it all over again. But also in the dog program, when we do the drop off, I'll sit there and chit chat with you and like explain to you what we did and what we're doing and blah 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 blah. But each week we're actually going to do a one-on-one session where I go, I run my route, I drop all the dogs off, and then I come back to you and we work together. Like you get that one-on-one private session, and we work. And this is going to be more of me coaching you on what to do. I'll show you a little bit, but I've had hands-on with your dog for however many days now. Now it's time for you to be hands-on with your dog. Let me coach you through it. Let me answer the questions. Let me explain what you need to do. Let me show you if I need to step in, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, where we need to fix it, what tweaks we need to make on your end. And we do that. Some of that might be out in the public. Some of that might just be at your house. It depends on what you need and what your dog needs the most. I actually don't remember if I talked about the commands yet, so I'm gonna possibly re-talk about it. But the main things we're gonna focus on is crate, or kennel is the command I use. Your dog going in their crate, so crate training. We're gonna work on place, the dog going to their bed and staying on their bed. Down means just lay down where you're at, and heel. Walk with me in this specific spot. Okay. Some people ask, well, how do I get my dog to come back to me? You're going to use heel because the only way your dog can be next to you or whatever is by heeling. So I say, if my dog's in the backyard all the way back, I say, Tater, heel, and he runs all the way to me, and he comes and he gets next to me. So that's how we do a recall. And the reason I combined those two instead of having it two separate commands is to simplify it as much as possible. I could have put 15, 20, 30 different commands all in one program and been like, yeah, good luck, person that knows nothing about dog training. Like, here's how you do it all, da 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 da, and then you're gonna be like, are you crazy? And I'll be like, a little bit, but that's beside the point. So making it as basic as possible. Those are going to be the kind of the core four that we work on. Um, with that, there'll also be like thresholds. Like they're not going to just pull you through the door when you're trying to go for a walk, or pull you through the door when you're coming back in from the walk, or getting in the vehicles or anything like that. They're going to be nice, cool, calm, and collected before going through a doorway. Um, waiting for food. The big gist of what the program is impulse control and duration work. Duration being how long will they do it for. So if I tell Dakota to go place, she should stay there until I tell her something different or I release her. So we do those things because that is how we get a dog to think and learn. Like, for example, let's say your dog goes ballistic at the window anytime the mailman comes and delivers your mail. For example purposes, you have a house where the mail is delivered at the porch, not at the mailbox at the end of the street. So the mailman comes all the way onto your front porch, delivers the mail, and typically your dog is going bananas at the door or at the window or whatever, just going berserk. Well, now we're going to teach your dog place. And you hear the dog bark, like, all right, hopefully you can catch him before then, but a lot of times you don't, to be honest. So it's like, all right, Dakota, place. That's all you need to worry about. Don't worry about the mailman. We don't need to worry about that. Everything's fine. I have it as the leader of this house. As your leader, I have it. Don't worry about it. And the mailman goes away. You release the dog. If they bolt back to the door or back to the window to check on things, nope, place. You just put them back. And then they learn, and then they lay there and they stay there an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, however long you determine. And that's it. You release them, they go back to being a dog again. So, not saying that I'm gonna work with your dog and put him in place for 4 hours. Like, no, but that is something for the owners to work towards. So, um, but with that, there's going to be a time when like the switch flips in their brain. It's like, oh man, and then a lot of that anxiety, a lot of that fearfulness is because they're worried because they don't know what to do. But if the only thing I need you to do, if I make it so simple that it's like, hey, you just go lay on your bed. That's it. It's literally all you need to do, dog. That's all. That's it. How easy is that for your dog? How much easier does that make it for your dog? Like that will take the weight off their shoulders. They'll be able to relax. They're just like, okay, all I got to do is just lay here. It takes time. It takes patience on the owner's part, but we can have those breakthroughs. And then eventually, over time, a year later, if you've been very good on the training, like the dog's not in place, they're just laying on the floor or whatever, and they see the shadow of the mailman, they go, ah, whatever. I don't care anymore. It's not that they don't care, but it's like, oh well, mom's got it, dad's got it, whatever. It's all good. Don't have to worry about it. So that is the gist. So it is it's a quote unquote basic program, but there's a lot of advanced stuff that we are doing that's just not, you don't see because it's not tangible. Like teaching the dog to sit is tangible. Like, I don't know if tangible is the right word, but hopefully it makes sense. Like, if I say sit and the dog sits down, like I can see that. But what our program focuses on is what's going on in that dog's brain, the stuff we can't see. You can kind of see it when they and they just decide to fall asleep instead of on alert the whole time. It's really that's the breakthrough that we're working towards. We're working on teaching the dog to relax. Overly excited when somebody knocks on the door, but don't not care because of course part of having a dog is that alertness. Bark bark. Somebody knocked on the door. Bark bark. Like yeah, that's nice. We want a little bit of that, but it's just getting the dog to chill as the main focus, really. And that takes time. They've been so conditioned to be just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. What do I do? What do I do? So I'm just going to do everything. And they've been essentially taught to go, 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 go. But now we need to teach them. We need to bring it back, reel them back in, and just relax, dog. Just chill. Everything's okay. So, and that's harder than it looks. It's harder than it sounds. It's easy to teach a dog to go. It's easy to teach a dog to go to place. It's hard to teach a dog to want to go there and relax. It's hard to teach a dog to relax. It's easy to teach a dog to go chase a ball. It's easy to teach a dog to play frisbee. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it's easier to teach a dog to go. Go, 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 go. It's so much harder to get them to backpedal and chill out and relax and just be there. So, yeah, that's the gist. I'll probably jump in, and I mean, really, that's the dog school program, but that's the program. Whether it be the homeschool, whether it be the dog school plus, whether it be homeschool plus, or just dog school, that is the program. It's just how it's delivered to the owner is a little bit different. So I guess, yeah, I explained all my programs in one video, but homeschool, I'm teaching you all this stuff and you have to implement it. With dog school, I'll take your dog, I'll help you implement it, I'll do the implementing, I'll teach the dog what needs to be done, but I'm also going to go and work with you. So it's the dog school program is homeschool on like the most steroids possible. So yeah, if you have questions, let me know. Reach out, shoot me a text, DM, leave a comment. I think you can leave a review. I don't know. I don't really know how this whole podcast thing works quite yet. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. If you made it this far, let me know if you have questions.